I want to talk about the 2014 playoff thing again. So this coaches committee came out and basically they're in support of expanding the playoff to 24 teams. And once again, I'm on YouTube, I'm on the internet, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Reels, whatever. And every single person that I'm seeing is like, all they care about's money. Expanding the playoff is going to ruin the regular season. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. And then they're talking about how the postseason games are all going to be blowouts. Look, when the college football playoff came along, the 14 playoff, that is, bowl games basically started falling off. I remember before the college football playoff era, people used to really love watching bowl games. And why is it that people used to love watching bowl games? Because it gave us something to argue about, right? You have the SEC. You had the Pac-10, Pac-12. You had the Big 10. You had the Big 12. You had the ACC. You had the Big East. You had all these conferences, right? And these teams, they don't really play each other throughout the season. They're playing their conference schedules. Sure, you have a few non-con games here and there, but for the most part, you're playing against your conference. So a school like LSU doesn't ever really get the opportunity to play against a school like Michigan, or a school like Michigan doesn't ever get the opportunity to play against a school like Alabama, and so on and so on and so on and so on. But what bowl games did was they gave conferences and teams in those conferences the opportunity to play teams from other parts of the country when conferences were still regional, and see how they kind of stacked up against each other. And people enjoyed watching bowl games, I believe, for that reason. Then came the college football playoff. And naturally, it became all about the playoff. If you didn't make the playoff, you didn't really matter anymore. So now, ever since the playoff came around, bowl games, nobody cares about the Cheez-It Bowl. Nobody cares about the Sun-Kissed Bowl. Those things are a joke now. Nobody cares. But what would a 2014 playoff do? It would basically be the return of the bowl game. Sure, some of these games are going to be blowouts, but who cares? It's cool to watch a team from your conference that you're very familiar with play against a team from another conference that you're not so familiar with. It's cool to watch LSU play against Notre Dame. It's cool to watch Tennessee play against Clemson. It's cool to watch Ohio State play against Florida. Those games were fun to watch. And now we don't get them anymore. And the reason that we don't get them in the 4-team and the 12-team era is because teams are scared, even in the regular season, to schedule big non-con games because, hey, if you lose one of those games, you're pretty much eliminated from the playoff. But guess what? If you make the playoff 24 teams don't have to have that fear anymore. We'll get bigger and better non-conference regular season games because people won't be scared to schedule them, because even if they take a loss in one of those games, they'll still be alive to make the playoff. Like last year, for example, Ohio State and Texas played early on in the regular season. Texas lost that game in a very close game. Texas lost to Ohio State. That loss kept Texas out of the playoff. Texas was 9-3 last year. If Texas schedules some G5 team and beats them by 30, guess what? Texas is 10-2. They're in the playoff. Then you have a school like Indiana. 2 years ago, Indiana, they lost a couple games, and then Kurt Signetti realized, oh, it doesn't matter who you play. It matters how many wins you get. So now he's like, okay, we're not scheduling anybody difficult in the non-con, because all that really matters is going at least 10-2. And if you go 10-2, you're in the playoffs. So what the 12-team playoff and the 4-team playoff eliminated was really good non-conference regular season games. And that sucks. This is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. And just hear me out. We need to expand the playoff to 24 teams. Every school plays a 12-game regular season. Okay? 12 games, like we're already doing. Each conference and each school in each conference has to play a 9-game conference schedule. Okay, so that means you have 3 more games left. This is the last part. After those 9 games, you have to schedule at least 2 Power 4 non-conference games. And then you get to play 1 non-Power 4 school. So if you want to play an in-state school like LSU, normally will play UL Lafayette. We'll play McNeese. We'll play Tulane. We'll play Southern University. We'll play Southeastern, whoever. We'll play an in-state school, and that in-state school benefits from playing LSU because they get money. And that can help those smaller programs. But what we need is more interesting games to watch throughout the regular season. What has happened is that the regular season has taken a hit, but not because the playoff is expanding, but because teams are scared to schedule really good non-con games. And that's the problem. That is the problem. We need to expand the playoff and have rules in place to where you have to play at least 11 Power 4 games per year. 9 conference, 2 out of conference, and then you get 1 like floater game, and you can play whoever the hell you want in that floater game. And that's 12 games. Do away with the conference championship games. And then your conference can just have if a tiebreaker in place to decide who is the conference champion. Because I hear a lot of people saying like, oh, well, if they do away with conference championship games, who's going to be the conference champion? Well, guess what? Before they had 12 teams in every conference, when they still had 10 teams in conferences, those conferences didn't have conference championship games. There was a point in time where the Big Ten did not have a conference championship game, but they still had a fucking conference champion. The people, I don't want to do this, but it seems to me like the people that are against it are the people that aren't college football fans. And maybe that's not it. Maybe they're just new college football fans, because it seems like they don't remember the way things used to be when college football was awesome. Well, guess what? In the last 10 to 15 years, college football has gotten worse, not better. But expanding the playoff would make it better, not worse. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.